What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Andy's History Lessons. This is the second episode of Thriller Thursdays, and I figured today I'd read to you yet another Swat Kats fanfiction that I wrote. So here we go. A Brush with the Underworld, a Swat Kats fanfic by Andy D'Andrea. It was a warm day in Mega Cat City. The day was left a tad gloomy with the miserable looking clouds. It was overcast. The sun had been blotted out. Callie stood looking out the window of the mayor's office, gazing out at the gritty streets of Mega Cat City. Well, so far no sign of Dark Cat or any of his allies, said Callie. The mayor was practicing golfing while singing an old Irish war song. Oh, come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wives how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Kilishandra, sang the mayor. Mayor, shouldn't you be trying to fix this city? Asked Callie. What's there to be fixin'? Asked the mayor. A lot of stuff, sir, said Callie. Callie walked away. You're the mayor, but I seem to be the one leading the charge most of the time, muttered Callie. Meanwhile, at the junkyard, Jake and Chance were sitting on the couch in their living quarters watching Scaredy Cat. Oh man, how many times is Scaredy Cat gonna fall for the pretty girl with hidden bomb gag? Asked Chance. I don't know, but it's funny as can be, said Jake. Oh, right in the mommy daddy button, said Chance. Oh, I don't think Scaredy Cat's going to be making any kittens anytime soon, said Jake as he grabbed himself. Anyways, what are we going to do about Commander Farrell? Asked Chance. What about him? Asked Jake. We would get so much more done with him and the enforcers gone, said Chance. True, that is correct, said Jake. I'd like to put a few holes in his back and then one in his head for good luck, said Chance. Whoa, buddy, chill out, said Jake. You can't still be mad at him for pretty much condemning us to working in this junkyard, said Jake. Well, maybe you're right, but that doesn't justify the fact that he has no right to threaten us whenever we save his tail. Ungrateful son of a... said Chance. Easy, said Jake. He actually has every right to threaten us. He's the police chief, said Jake. It's kind of boring now that Dark Cat has gone underground, said Chance. Yeah, it is, said Jake. Turn on the news, said Chance. Jake turned on the news. In other news, reports of strange occurrences are coming from the area around an abandoned building in the north side of Mega Cat City, said Ann Gora, the reporter. Let's suit up, said Chance. Chance and Jake suited up as their SWAT Cat alter egos. Razor, that's Jake, and T-Bone, that's Chance. Razor and T-Bone hopped inside the Turbo Cat and flew to the site of the abandoned building. Well, she sure looks abandoned, said T-Bone. Razor and T-Bone looked at the building. Its windows were cracked and its wooden structure was rotted and splintering. Yeah, she's abandoned, but let's go see what all the fuss is about, said Razor. Razor and T-Bone got out of the Turbo Cat and walked up to the building. They each pulled out a flashlight and walked into the building. Okay, so far there's nothing, said T-Bone. Well, there's probably more to it, said Razor. Just then, T-Bone heard a low, guttural voice whisper in his ear. Get out! What was that? Asked T-Bone. What was what, buddy? Asked Razor. I heard some evil-sounding voice whisper to me, get out, said T-Bone. I'm sure it's nothing. You're probably just being Suddenly, Razor was thrown back by an invisible force. Razor grunted as he hit the floor. Just then, he heard a low, guttural voice whisper in his ear. You will die tonight, said the voice. Razor began crying out of fear. Razor, Razor, what's wrong? Asked T-Bone. We have to get out of here, said Razor. There's something evil in here, said Razor, all choked up. It's okay, buddy, stay with me, said T-Bone. Do you need me to help you up? Asked T-Bone. No, I got it, said Razor in his normal voice. Razor stood up and continued walking. Let's just find out what's going on and then we'll go home, said T-Bone. Yeah, good idea, said Razor. Razor and T-Bone began walking until they came into an area with candles lighting up the darkness of the room. Candles? Who uses candles anymore? Asked T-Bone. Well, it could be homeless people. They use whatever source of light they can get, said Razor. T-Bone walked up to the candles and noticed they were lined up in a circle. When T-Bone got to where he was looking over the candles, he noticed a pentagram painted on the floor. Oh no, said T-Bone. What? Asked Razor. Razor, dude, I think you're right that there's something evil in this building, said T-Bone. How can that be? Asked Razor. Take a look, I found one of those evil star things on the floor here, said T-Bone. Razor walked up to where T-Bone was. Oh crud, that's a pentagram. Yeah, I guess I was right, said Razor. Look for a light switch, said T-Bone. Yeah, sure, said Razor. Razor began looking around the room for a light switch. When he found one, he turned on the lights. When the lights came on, T-Bone and Razor looked up and screamed. They looked around as they saw the mutilated corpses of sheep. And also, when T-Bone looked at the pentagram again, he dipped his left index and middle fingers into the red substance on the ground. As T-Bone sniffed it, the smell of blood hit him in the face. Oh God, that's blood, man, said T-Bone. It's Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies, shouted Razor. Razor marveled in horror at the sickening display in front of him. Flies were swarming around the row of severed sheep heads with maggots squirming around in them. Sheep blood riddled the floor and the steps leading up to the altar of the church. At the top of the altar was a goat-headed statue. Razor was crippled with fear as his eyes met the haunting gaze of the goat-headed statue. Written in sheep's blood above the statue was the phrase, "The flies never die." Razor looked to his left and found a black book on the ground. Razor knelt down and picked up the book. As soon as Razor picked up the book, a loud guttural roar was heard. "Let's get out of here," shouted T-Bone. Razor and T-Bone ran out of the church and hopped inside the Turbo Cat. As soon as Razor and T-Bone arrived back at the junkyard, they removed their costumes and sat down on the couch dressed in their normal clothes. "I wonder what's inside this book," said Jake. "You brought the book?" asked Chance. "Yeah, maybe it'll give us some kind of clue as to what was really going on. Maybe all that stuff was there just to scare us out," said Jake. "Maybe," said Chance. Jake opened up the book. In the book, Jake saw Latin words written in sheep blood. On one page was a drawing of the devil's face, and on one page were all the names of the SWAT Cats and their friends and colleagues. "How do they know our names?" asked Jake. "How do these people know us?" asked Jake. "This is a satanic Bible," said Jake. "And that was a satanic church," said Chance. "The windows? They were probably a portal to the spirit world," said Jake. "Chuck that thing in the furnace," shouted Chance. "With frickin' pleasure," said Jake. Jake chucked the book in the furnace. Chance turned on the news and saw that the church was burning. "Dude, the church is on fire," said Chance. "What? Why?" asked Jake. "I think the book is connected to the spirit world," said Chance. "Well, at least now we don't have to worry about it or the church," said Jake. Later that night, Chance was walking around when he walked into the kitchen and saw Jake frozen in place. All of the color had left Jake's entire body. His whole body was pale, like he was about to die. "Hey buddy, what's wrong?" asked Chance. Chance walked up to Jake. Jake pointed to the kitchen table. It came back, Chance, said Jake. Chance looked in horror at the kitchen table as he saw the black book sitting right there on the kitchen table. Chance took the book and hopped into the Turbo Cat and dropped the book off at the church. Maybe it'll keep whatever's here happy, said Chance. Chance quickly hopped in the Turbo Cat and flew back to the junkyard as he heard sirens approaching. Commander Farrell, what do you think caused this fire? Asked Angora. It is without a shadow of a doubt that it was those scumbags known as the Swat Kats, said Commander Farrell. What evidence do you have against them? Asked Angora. Commander Farrell walked up to the scorched remains of the church. Just then, a swarm of flies covered Commander Farrell. What the hell? Shouted Commander Farrell. Commander Farrell looked on in horror as a scarlet-red elephant spirit looked at him and muttered out in a guttural voice, "Stay away!" Commander Farrell screamed and started running. He jumped in his squad car and raced hurriedly back to the Enforcer's headquarters. So now you see, folks. Stay away from the book. Stay away! The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Now, good night. Sleep tight. I hope you make it through the night. Fare thee well.